Jim? Looks like we have an audience. I'm ready to start to give my talk. But first, I would like to ask, who is here in the audience who does not understand Czech and is interested in my talk about implanting people? Please raise your hand now if you want the talk to be in English. Okay, we have some people. I will use this as an opportunity to practice, so please forgive me if I'm struggling verbally.
You're doing fine.
I have not rehearsed this before, and I have recycled some of my previous talks. So welcome. I will be sharing my journey as how I got to implant people, to give them some implants to make new cyborgs. And it will not be very technical. It will be more of my personal journey into this subject. I have some slides. I have some bonus materials. If you have questions, please raise your hand, or I will be available the whole evening for a talk about this topic. So without further ado, let's go. The prequel, how this all started. How did I become a Chipmaster or Chipmaster, which is a term coined by one of my friends. I did not invent this one up. So the story goes that I am a furry. I have an alter ego of an animal. It's a dog. It's a Labradorian retriever. You can see a fursona that I got commissioned. So this is my imaginary character. And I like the furry community. It has a special place in my heart because it was the first people who treated me decently in my life. So there is still some connection. But on the other hand, I might have grown out of it a little bit. It is important for how the story develops. And then the other image, you have a question.
I was asking about the other image.
The other image is a logo. It's a sign of Food Not Bombs organization. Usually it has a little of like anarchist vibes. And basically in Hradec Králové, a Czech town where I was living a few years ago, we had this group we organized over Facebook, and we cooked a meal for the homeless people every Sunday. So we got together, we bought some vegetables, prepared some like 20 or 30 liters of vegan goulash, and then we drove to the railway station and gave the food to the homeless. And one of my friends, Marek, who is not here today, but he is an integral part of this whole story, we were driving from the event one Sunday evening, and he's like, you would not believe what happened in my piercing studio last week. A dude has come, and he wanted me to implant him a chip. Would you believe that? And I was like, what? That's a real thing? That actually happens? And my friend, Marek, piercer, he's like, yeah, I've actually done it once before, and it's not a problem. And that completely mesmerized me, because I found it interesting. I found that there is an opportunity to be first at something, and I found it very attractive. So on this basis of two volunteers, Marek, who was running a piercing side job basically, and me interested in technologies. So we met at a voluntary work, giving homeless people some food, and that's how Cipovani, the company that this is all about, has started some years ago. Oh, yeah. Today I have a video to share with you because as a furry, what has actually inspired me to get implanted was that my fursona is a dog. And in the Czech Republic, there is a law that requires all puppies and dogs to be implanted with an identification chip. That's the law. I did not invent this one. And somehow this has spoken a great deal to my fursona, to my inner dog. So I asked Marek, would you be willing to give me an implant after I have studied what's available on the market, and I found out that the implants for animals and the implants for humans are the technology and the form factors are the same, but the chips and their abilities are different, and also the quality control process somehow. So on this slide, this is like visually interesting. You can see me when implanting was personal for me. Marek did this to me. We also don't have a problem with doing this. If you are masked, if you are a puppy or whatever, we don't care. The important thing is consent. this needs to be always consented. On the right, you can see some X-ray images. That's a direct effect of the first job that happened on 10th of July of 2022. That's when I got my first implant. It was the next one. And if you want to see how implanting a human looks with a puppy mask, that's me, I actually have a video. So I guess let's play it. Hopefully it will work. Yeah, it works. Nice. It's in Czech. So we are talking about the implant. And on the right side, there is Marek hidden behind his MacBook. This is at his home. This is before we rented a studio. I am checking this out because this was my first implantation. And this was very personal for me. This was like one of my, I guess this can be called one of my like adulthood transition rituals. I guess let's, it's not that long. Oh, okay. This is the implantation device for small implants. The needle is quite big. It's like 2 millimeters in diameter. And it's a one-time applicator. So this comes in a sterile packaging. And once you use it, it cannot never be used again. It needs to go into special trash bins. So let's go. Also, if you are not into gory things, maybe close your eyes. Sorry about that. But this is how it looks like. We don't use anesthesia. And yes, it is painful. As you can see, I have my eyes closed. And it's in. And now the implant will be deposited by Marek's thumb. It will click. Hopefully. Maybe we couldn't hear it in this video. And it's done. This is how you would chip an animal. This is how you chip a human. The procedure is the same. And this is how I got my first implant. A very personal thing for me. Okay, let's get back to the talk.
Can I ask a question?
Please.
For how long was what was the duration of the pain? Like, was it just for a moment, or did it last longer?
I see. Yeah, the profile of the pain is that when you feel the needle on your skin, it tends to get very painful. The pain will increase. It will be from like on the 10-point scale. It will increase up to like 6 or 8 for a few seconds. Once the needle goes through your skin, the pain goes down a great way. It's like 3 or 4 on the scale. And once the needle goes out of your body, it becomes painless in 1 minute. It's like you still feel a bit injured for a few days. You need to apply ice, but otherwise it's not a big surgery. And
so the most painful part is like
the most painful part is definitely the needle entering your body. That's like the moment of pain, I would say. I have programmed my first implant with a dog number. You can see it on the right bottom on the image. 203, that means Czech Republic. And the rest of the number seems like rodné číslo, social security number, or its equivalent in Czech. But don't be fooled, it's fake. It's not my real rodné číslo. These X-ray images were taken in Všeobecná fakultní nemocnice in Prague because I know the radiologists there and they were very curious. So they were keen on seeing this. I got it for free. That was fine. So this was a personal part. How I got into it, I got an implant and then I was thinking like, well, Marek knows this piercing stuff. I know something about RFID, NFC. Maybe we can put it together and offer a unique service. So, yeah. It was in the times when COVID pandemic was starting. And there were appearing conspiracy theories as they were before. It was not a new thing. But there were some groups that tried to spread panic and disinformation, also using this subject in their disinformation campaigns. So there were several disinformation campaigns regarding there are chips in the COVID vaccines, which is nonsense for physical reasons. We can go deep into it, but I would prefer not to. And that was coinciding with when our company was starting. And our motivation was to provide the service of implanting, provide it safely in a professional and legal manner, so that anybody who would be inclined to go this way, who would want an implant, would rather come to us and have the procedure performed safely rather than try to perform it themselves and risking an injury. That was one of the motivations why we started the company. Also, I feel important to mention that quite a few people who suffer from paranoid schizophrenia, the mental illness, will have a very strong feeling that they have been implanted against their will. I have these people in my inbox regularly. They write me emails, they're asking, I have been implanted against my will. Please, can you find the implants? Can you extract them? I am suffering a great deal of mind control. I hear voices. This happens for some socially historical reasons. People who are at risk of developing paranoid schizophrenia often believe that these implants have something to do with it. They are the cause of their problems. It's not the case, obviously, and I refer these people to get medical attention. So that kind of is related. And the last point I have about conspiracies is about Ivo A. Benda, or maybe you know him as Ashtar Sheran. Yeah. The guy is very relevant. Yeah. He was making a lot of graphical posters and stuff, and he is one of the guys who probably suffers from paranoid schizophrenia. He's not dangerous, but he's kind of a crazy. And he spent, I don't know, probably 10 years making posters and warning people against being implanted. There is also a great article about him in IDNES. There is a link. I will share the slides after the talk. You can see his posters on this slide. To translate, basically, beware, you and your stuff is about to be implanted by the lizards of hell. Stop RFID, angelsoflight.cz. There is one symptom of schizophrenia in the left picture. As you can see, there is this radiating light and energy coming from the middle. Whenever you see this pattern on any poster, the original creator may be at risk of schizophrenia. This is one of the symptoms. So they have done materials like this, and would they come with this a few years later, they would actually be relevant because there would be my company, but they were too early for this.
Is the guy kind of religious? Because it gives me a little bit of religious vibe.
I guess they would be united as a secta. Yeah. Okay. So nothing great comes of this. But they have like nice images of the RFID implants. That's true. So this was an interesting sidestep, I guess.
What was the last time you heard about that? Because it's like seems they went quiet.
Yeah, they are still spreading the posters around their home, which is currently in Martin in Slovakia. They are also still paying for all the crazy domains, which gets quite expensive. And I honestly admire them for it, because otherwise I would buy the domains and use them for marketing. My company operates on completely different principles. I require my clients to sign a consent form before the procedure. This is a preview in Czech. I'm sorry, it states all the necessary requirements there are for getting an implant from my company. Some of these are up for discussion, some of these are not. Every customer of mine had to sign one of these, otherwise I wouldn't be doing the business. It's important because I am protecting myself from people who would change their minds, and I'm kind of like trying to make sure that people understand what they are getting into, because this is not something you can easily reverse. You would need a doctor and another surgery for it. So the question remains, who is up for this? Who wants this? And the answer, from my experience running this company for 3 years, is that it interests people who are keen on upgrading themselves, like transhumanists, cyborgs, and cyberpunks, because suddenly you have an implant, you have a chip, suddenly your body can speak at 125 kilohertz or 13 megahertz, or whenever you are in an electromagnetic field, you start you light up, you sparkle. And, or you can extend your senses. There are biomagnets available that are able to sense either metals or even electromagnetic, like when there is a powered wire in the wall and you slide over the wall, you can feel some disturbance with your fingers because suddenly you have a magnet.
Are there any health risks, or are there any risks, or either when doing it or like on long-term scale?
There are definitely some risks involved. We have found the procedure of implanting to be rather safe because we are trying to keep everything sterile. Strictly, we adhere to the instructions of the manufacturers, and we also apply common sense, so we had no issues with this. But there are definitely risks involved. It's one of the reasons that the consent form is required. For example, if you buy and implant a biomagnet, you cannot forego MRI screening because the machine would rip the magnet of your body. However, the implants are unaffected. So if you only have a next or a payment implant or something like that, it is safe to go into the MRI machine. I was there twice with my cybernetic right hand, and there was no issue, no sensation, no heat, no pain, no vibrations, and the chips kept working afterwards. So I'd say it's safe and tested, but the exceptions is biomagnets. If you have any like foreshadowing, you will need to go into an MRI machine, don't get a biomagnet. So people who like to extend themselves, then people probably which I would consider myself to be a part of, furies, pet players, and masochists. It speaks to us in ways. So for example, my dog fursona is a strong motivation for me to get a dog implant and be like in solidarity with dogs, and also maybe being a voice for them because they cannot express their opinions, and they cannot like represent themselves politically and, for example, protest against the bad law because the law that requires the implanting was not implemented properly, and then it required all dogs and all veterinarians to go through the process to implant the animals, but the law was missing one crucial thing. It did not require any registration of the implants numbers. So you get a puppy, you got it chipped at the veterinarian, and if the veterinarian was lazy and did not upload the implant number into a database, the chip was useless. Even when the dog got lost and found, for example, by municipality, police, or anybody, it would not be possible to find the original owner because the implant number would have just blank record. I can demonstrate. I had one of my implants programmed as a dog number, and it can actually be like looked up in one of the free registries. Also, surprisingly high number of my clients are people reaching their adulthood and asking for a transition ritual, basically something that they can decide for themselves about their body and to prove to themselves that they are able to do this decision and live with it. So I get quite a lot of like 18 and 19-year-old people who are interested in this. So let's move along. Yeah, like I said, this is Marek, this is me. We started a company to provide this service safely and affordably, hopefully. We have been doing this for 3 years. And where is this technology used? This is one of the slides that I have recycled. It's contactless, or supposed to be, with the implants that have small antennas. They are often like, they require a physical contact with the reader. There are two major technological branches of this. RFID, the older standard, on lower frequency, 125 kilohertz. There is no security at this frequency at all. All the protocols have been broken and reverse engineered. So if you find any transponder on this frequency using only plain old RFID, you are always, in 100% cases, able to clone it, which is good. It's easy to find out the frequency of a reader, for example, and you know that you will be able to brute force it or clone a valid token, anything like that. The other branch, which is newer and allows you to work with more data, it's a technology used, for example, in debit cards and all this stuff that you see on the photograph. It's a higher frequency, it's newer, it contains more data. I'm simplifying here because there are multiple protocols and they behave differently in ways, so I will not go deeper into this. You see some examples, and they all have their specifics. The applications are like, apart from sharing the basic technology, they have very different use cases and implementations. So if you have any questions regarding this,
how many implants do you have?
How many implants do I have? That's a good question. And I feel it's important to distinguish between chips as the semiconductor part and implant as a thing, as an item. So because I have like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 chips, but then only 4 implants because one of them is double. So yeah, this is my cybernetic right hand. And we are still getting started. Because my dominant hand, this is my non-dominant hand. My left hand is dominant. And it's still waiting for its implants. I'm just testing the stuff. I'm just testing the waters. And when the shit gets real, it will be going into my left hand. Yeah, this is an interesting slide. Yeah, question?
Question, so I can implant the chip and pay like contactless payments.
We will get into the payments. I have a few slides dedicated to that, so stay patient. We will get there. Also, Kreiren have a question.
I wanted to ask about the same thing, but I wanted to frame it as not only minus that brand, because like I want to just like without issues. Oh, I want to talk to Microsoft.
Nice.
Yeah. So you want me to like repeat the question?
Please do.
Okay, so I wanted to frame it as non-annoying Midas touch van, basically like from the Greek mythology of like touching, from like touching.
Yeah, I get your question. We will get to that in the payment implants part of the talk. Just a few slides afterwards. There are several form factors available for purchase. On this slide, you can see what's called form factor X. There are several implants available. The topmost image is interesting because it's actually a thermometer used for animals originally. It can be implanted into a human. I think we have one person who has this implant here tonight. I will not dox them, but it's available and it's been available. I don't have this one. It's not me. The second picture with the white background is interesting because it has no chip. It has no antenna. It's completely passive. It's the biomagnet. This is what it looks like. It's just a biomagnet in a capsule. The third image, this one, that's an LED diode, implantable form factor. It gathers energy from the antenna and only emits visible light. So whenever you are in an electric field with your hand will start to glow a little bit. The bottom one has 2 antennas, 2 pieces of copper, one here and other here, and that's one of the implants I have. This allows the implant to have 2 chips, 2 different frequencies, 2 chips, 2 functions in one capsule, in one implant. It's quite nice. And the last picture, it has a feature that's exclusively, or it's recommended to only use for animals. It's the dark black part reaching the antenna. It's called anti-migration coating. This is used so that the animals don't travel around the implants. It is used so that the implants do not travel through the animal body, so that they will just grow into a single place and stay there. Because the animals are like, they do a lot of stuff, they do a lot of movements, and it used to be an issue in the past that the implants were actually moving. It's not such a big problem with humans, but for animals, for some reason, that was a thing. And we have a newer form factor. The last one was very time-tested and very stable, very robust. These X implants, they have unlimited lifetime. They will outlive you. They will go with you into the crematorium. These are a newer generation, and they don't have any glass capsule, and they don't have any resin inside to basically lock and freeze the components. They are based on polymers, on plastics. They are way bigger than the original ones, and even the implantation procedure is more involved. And if it was possible for individuals to self-implant the X form factor chips, it is definitely not possible for an individual to self-implant a flex form factor implant. There were some attempts, and the people ended up in hospital. Please don't do that. Come to my company. It's more safe. These are some flex form factor implants that are out there. The most common form factor would be the bottom one. That's like really common. There are like 10 to 20 different types. They vary in the chip that's used. The antenna is usually the same. And the implants on the right side can still be implanted by a needle with 5 millimeter diameter. That's a big one. The implant on the left, it has 3 LED diodes, but it cannot be implanted with a needle. There is no way to make enough room with a needle for this, so it needs a scalpel. And I would recommend that this be done with anesthesia, so with a surgeon. This is like, this is one of the implants that my company does not yet do. At least on a common like implant sessions, I have a surgeon willing to do stuff.
What's the fragility of the capsules?
What's the fragility of the capsules? Regarding the older form factor, the X implants with glass and resin, they are not fragile at all. There have been like few incidents from the tens of thousands of implants applied worldwide from 2005, and there have been like virtually no errors when the capsule would shatter or anything like that. If you are having a situation where your implant has a real chance of being damaged, you probably have fallen into a trash shredder or something like that, and you have completely different problems than the implant. So yes, if you manage to hit yourself with a hammer enough times, you can probably break it. And then it would be a good idea to go to an emergency and have it extracted immediately. That's the implants. If their capsule or the cover stays okay, then they have unlimited lifetime. It is not possible or intended for these devices to be extracted, but it is possible. For example, if the cover of these biopolymer implants fails, it may cause a reaction. It may cause some swelling. It will be unpleasant. And once you see that there is something happening with your hand where there is an implant, the recommended approach is to get to an emergency room and get it extracted, because you may get an infection or something, but it happens rarely. It has not happened in Czech Republic to my knowledge. So, yeah, payments and the future. Here we are. Also in this tube there is an implantation needle for the bigger implants. I also have videos and everything, but I did not want to scare you. So this is packed. The implant in the bottom is Valetmore. Valet of tomorrow. Great name. I have been an experimenter with this technology myself. I was the first person to order it in the Czech Republic. I have received a prototype. I got it implanted with Marek. So ever since then, we do these bigger plastic implants as well. And I was flexing hard with the payment implant for half a year, because this is great, that it can be paired, it can be used as a regular debit card, the same you have in your wallet, if you have a correct app, whatever. But the point is that you can pay at payment terminal. It's like a great flex. If you are in Lidl, you just roll up your sleeves, you show that you have no watches, no card in hand, and you just perform this gesture, and the terminal beeps, and you have paid, and everything is all right, and the cashier's mouth goes like this. How did you pay? What has happened? I loved it. And then I went to Jordan. We were climbing some rocks in the desert, and when I was trying to pay at the duty-free shop in Amman, at the airport, the implant was completely dead. Like, no reaction at all, so I had to save myself with a common card. And I got into a very cyborg first world problem, because suddenly I had a dead chip in myself. It was difficult. I was not sure what to do. I tried to get reimbursed from the manufacturer. We got into a dispute, and after some time I got a replacement. I have tested that replacement thoroughly, and it took me 1 year to find a surgeon who would be willing not only to extract, that would be a common surgery performed with any doctor you can find. That's completely fine. Extractions are fine. The problem is that I wanted a new version, a new prototype implanted back in, right after the extraction surgery. And the doctors were like, no way, no. Not doing that, not losing my license over some fucking implant. So I had to find a surgeon who would not be scared of losing their license in the Czech Republic, and I found one. He is licensed and works in a hospital, not in the Czech Republic though. So he's not afraid of losing the license here. I will not elaborate further, but I managed to get it done and replaced. And guess what? The next day after the implantation, I get a reaction from the ATMs, I get the reaction from the readers, but for some reason it's still manufactured in a way that it does not work. It was tested outside of my hand and it worked a few times. Then I got it implanted and it's weak. It's too weak to work implanted. So I got in touch with the manufacturer and he was like, what, again, you're shitting me. I'm not reimbursing you anymore. So it was really expensive for me because this implant was like, the first prototype was like 200 euros, then I got one free, then I ordered some more. So I'm in this for like 1,000 euros without any usable material. That kind of slowed the company down for years, basically. And I lost my patience with Valetmore. I wrote a blog about them on my website. You can read it. It's nothing cool. Valetmore project is dead. There will be no payment implants from this company. From Wojtek Paprota, the Polish guy who came up with this, it's dead. Then there were often mentions about using implants to pay with cryptocurrencies. It's a very common topic. People ask me all the time. I do not recommend doing that because the common implants, they don't have any challenge response mechanism. Cryptographically, technically, they are unable to store the cryptocurrency safely. Or you would need a special chip that has these cryptographical features, but then you would also need a programmer to prepare the chip. And since this is a so niche subject, nobody ever implemented that. There were some attempts around parallelní polis, and they were just copying their private keys into the memory of the implant and using it to pay. But that's like coming into the store and giving the cashier your wallet, take the money that you need, and I trust you that you will return it to me. So I don't recommend that, and I have not seen any system that would be like able to utilize this technology in a convenient, safe way to transact cryptocurrencies. It is an open area waiting for a willing programmer, I guess. And then teaser, people want payment implants. It's the most requested feature.
Yeah, it will be possible if you could implement a Java card. I think the only problem is coupling and getting enough energy to the Java card. So the implant would need to be bigger, but I think I've seen some, but I'm not sure if there were Java cards.
It is possible to build such an infrastructure on such platforms, but like I said, few people are doing that. So it's nothing that would be like widely available, or there would be a tutorial for it. I'm not aware of that. But maybe you know something I don't. That's possible. However, I have a teaser for you because, like I said, the payment implants working like a debit card that you can pay anywhere with, it's requested. People want that. I get quotes for it all the time. So the worldwide famous company Dangerous Things from the United States, they have been trying to make this a reality during the last years. There was this Valetmore fiasco, and now they have managed to secure a contract with a real payment provider called Fidesmo, and there have been some updates. So it seems that this autumn, I will have a new generation of similarly large implant that should be able to be rolled in to various Czech banks, also Revolut and stuff like this, and it should be connectable and reprogrammable with any tokenizable debit card. Also, it will be expensive as fuck. You get this card from your bank for free with your account. If you want to get it implanted, the device that's able to do it in Czech, it will be the price in euros will be somewhere between 1,000 and 2,000 euros because it's so difficult to get, manufacture, and it needs to be EMV compliant. It needs to have the proper timings. It needs to be manufactured up to a standard, and also the EMV, Europay, MasterCard, Visa consortium, they really don't want to hear anything about implants. Whenever you mention it, your company gets banned and just kicked off the whole ecosystem. So these things are being manufactured in like, they are not very promoted. There are not many people who know about this is happening, but it is possible to get these implants. They will be available even in the Czech Republic through my company soon, hopefully. And if you have the money for it, it's a great flex I can recommend. That's all, folks. This is me and my journey of a Chipmaster or Chipmaster. You are welcome to check my website or join our community Discord, which is a good place to ask any questions. And I would love to hear all your questions, but I'm afraid that we are running out of time. So I will be available for the whole evening. If you have any questions, please reach out to me, and we can have a discussion about implants and cyborgs and whatever. Thank you very much. You have been an amazing audience. Yep. So that's all.